All right, here we are today doing our what have you been doing for the past 40 years? And this is Bruce Burnham, and I'm Donna DeBonis. So we're going to try to catch up in like 5 minutes about what's happened in 40 years. No, not really. I'll give you more than 5 minutes. But you know the best question everybody's been able to, the most fun question, I guess I should say, is pretty much what did you do the moment you had CSU in your rearview mirror? Where were you headed? What was the first thing you were headed for? Did you have a job lined up or what?
I did. And I was limited to Denver because my wife had an internship in Denver. And so what worked out best was I was working for a small animal practitioner in Boulder for 2 days a week. He was in his 60s, wanted to slow down. And he told a friend of his about that. And his friend wanted 2 days. And then he told another friend, and he wanted 2 days. So all of a sudden, I was working 6 days a week. And of course, when I worked for them, they wanted me to take calls. And so I was taking calls 6 nights a week. And I usually went in every night. And so that was a real eye-opener to me. I liked what I was doing, but I realized I liked too many other things. I didn't want to just practice. Cindy was coming on calls to see me.
Oh yeah, because there was literally no other chance.
Right. Yeah. And so I just realized I didn't want to be like those, these 3 veterinarians at 60. They were trying to slow down and it was too late. So my father-in-law was the world's expert in plague. He was a plague epidemiologist for CDC. And he was at a conference and heard that the Air Force was looking for veterinarians to do public health for the Air Force.
What year was that? Like, was that right when you graduated that year? So it would have been 83, or was it a little bit further down?
I did that. I practiced for 3 years.
So okay.
86.
So by then you were like completely exhausted. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to, one of the vets wanted me to buy in, and it was kind of like, you really need to make a decision here.
Yeah.
And so then when I heard about this other job, I applied for it and got it.
Was that as a civilian, or was it as an actual active duty public health veterinarian?
Active duty public health.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And so it was funny because Cindy and I agreed. They have this Air Force dream sheet that allows you to identify 6 places you'd like to go.
Oh, you got 6 places because it was the Air Force. Okay, I get it. Go ahead.
So we agreed on 5, and I had to turn the sheet in. And so I just wrote down the 6th one because I liked hunt and fish as Montana. And of course, that's what I got.
What?
So we went to Montana, and then Portugal, Italy, Texas, Colorado, and then we finally ended up in New Mexico.
So Texas would have been Lac
San Antonio.
San Antonio. Yeah.
Actually, it's a real small Brooks Air Force Base.
Oh, Brooks. Okay, sure.
And so the first 10 years or so, I was just doing base level stuff. And then I got a job at the teaching biology at the Air Force Academy.
Yeah.
And that was a wonderful thing because Colorado Springs is just a beautiful city. I was doing research. I was teaching. I love to teach.
Yeah.
And so
the Air Force Academy is really prestigious. I was in Colorado Springs my last year of high school before I went up to Fort Collins. And that was a big deal to go to the Air Force Academy for graduations and all of that. So it's a beautiful place.
It was. And but anyway, during that time, I was able to get board certified in epidemiology, and so that kind of shifted me into that specialty. And so then went to Texas and ran the Air Force's study on Agent Orange and the effects on Vietnam veterans. So that got me into epidemiology. And then this job, we liked the West, of course, we wanted to stay in the West. So there was this injury epidemiology job here in Albuquerque at Kirtland Air Force Base.
Uh-huh.
And it was funny, you know, our kids, every time we moved, it was like, well, where are we going next? And then they got into high school and it's like, we're not moving. So we've been here ever since. Actually, been here the longest I've ever been anywhere.
Hmm.
This year is 21 years here in Albuquerque.
How many
So
kids do you have?
we have two, a boy and a girl.
Ah, okay.
The boy here, Luke, is here in Albuquerque, and our daughter is in Washington, D.C.
Hmm.
And she is going to have our first grandchild next month. So we're excited about that.
Oh, it'd be a nice little trip over to DC, huh?
Yep.
Hmm.
So I did 20 years active duty,
Yep, that was my next question. Awesome.
and it was a real fortunate thing. Right when I could retire, there were three epidemiologists here. This is the headquarters for safety. And they realized that there was this constant churn and they wanted to have some more continuity. So they civilianized one of the positions.
Ah,
So I applied and got it. And it had to be the easiest retirement ever because I went home, changed clothes, went back the next day, did the exact same job, supervised the same people as
hmm.
a civilian. And I did that for 16 more years.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Good for
So
you.
it was 36 years with the Air Force. And then last year, uh, December of 21, I retired.
Your second retirement. Sure.
Right.
So, what rank did you make for your in the Air Force?
I was a lieutenant colonel.
Hmm. Yep.
Seems
There's
like that's the kind of the break. If you want to just do leadership and administration, that's the ticket to make 06. And I
hmm.
really enjoyed doing the science. So um, I didn't I didn't pursue that
Hmm.
final rank. I'd rather stay here. So
Oh, sure. Yeah, there are a few of us who are turned out to be in the military in our class, so that's kind of cool. Hmm.
yeah, I'll be eager to meet the others. It wasn't. I know Keith Vesely was in the Army also, wasn't he?
I believe so. And Dave Rice,
Dave
of
Rice.
course, I ended up, I Dave went into Army Reserves. I think he was active duty first. I have to pick on him about that. I went in very late in life into the reserves, and I ended up meeting up with him in Kosovo when we did a transfer. He
Huh.
took over. Yeah, he took over the mission. So it's like, this is crazy. I haven't seen you in 25 years. So that was awesome. So we've kind of kept in touch off and on since after that. And yeah, there's a few more, but I think it's just a matter of I probably should actually write that down on the website too, because that's kind of cool to see. So, but I think mostly active duty, not that there weren't as many who were reservists, because reservists, that's kind of like the best kept secret. It's the best of all worlds. You still could get a retirement, you get all the benefits, all that kind of thing. So, but anyway, yeah, uh, I was in Afghanistan and then Kosovo. And then I got out in 2020, but I didn't go for full retirement at all. Well, I got in so late, so it was not as useful as for someone like you who was on the ball and got into the military right away. So very cool. Yeah. And what what have you been doing now that you are actually fully retired at this point for a whole year or two?
Right. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense based on, I don't like to do any one thing.
Hmm.
It's really been great to have the time freedom
Yes.
to just say yes. You don't have to think about, what's my schedule.
Hmm.
So, for example, there's a little church in Los Lunas, and their preacher is trying to retire. And so he wanted to slow down. And so I preach for that church one Sunday a month.
Oh, that
And,
is so cool.
it's just great to have that time freedom to,
Mhm.
a friend of mine had this big fishing trip. I'd love to fish. And
Mhm.
he said, do you want to go to Argentina in February?
What?
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I just got back from that trip in
Hmm.
February. And so I guess the, the three things I really enjoy doing now are fishing, tennis, and trombone. I'm in three bands here in Albuquerque. And
That's a lot of practice.
I hadn't played trombone since undergrad.
Yeah.
And this friend of mine at church asked me if I wanted to play in a band, and I started thinking about it. It had been 40 years since I had. And
Oh,
so I
wow.
did, and I didn't realize how much I missed it.
Uh-huh.
It's really a lot of fun, and it's a bunch of people like me who now they have the time freedom and they're just doing things they enjoy.
Yeah. I saw someone else picked up an instrument again after many years and started playing a couple of people in our class. You'll find out when you look at the other interviews. I think Barb did that interview.
Huh.
But it's very interesting how we have this scientific and we have this artistic side, and the science makes the money most of the time, and then the
Right.
artistic is the stuff we have fun doing when we're retired. And although I guess we could say there is an art to fishing, so that counts, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, there is. Yeah.
Tom is a big
Everywhere
fish.
you go, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I did notice that some people put fishing pictures in their posts. They're
Yeah,
eager to talk to them.
yeah, whoever took a fishing picture, I was like, okay, we understand how you put that closer to the camera. Yeah, know how that works. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really cute. But yeah, that's really become a big deal for a lot of people. Basically the outdoor sports, whether it be fishing or hiking, it seems like a lot of people were really taking advantage of that time where, gosh, you don't have to think your schedule is completely circumscribed by work. You have to get up, be someplace, rush through your morning, be someplace. Isn't it great to sit down and enjoy your breakfast or coffee or whatever it is that you do first thing in the morning, and take that at your leisure and kind of contemplate what your day is going to be like. I love it.
Well, the thing I like about Albuquerque here, especially where we live, I live a mile from a trailhead into the Sandia Mountains, and so every morning I take my dog, and at first light we start hiking for about 2 hours every morning,
Wow, that
and
is a really great hike. Jeez.
and it's just beautiful. Um, the views from up there are amazing. So
Oh, it's so gorgeous over there. I've been through before. and it is quite beautiful. So you're happy you're not moving anywhere again,
Right.
and the part that I loved about being in the military, even though I was only a reservist, is that I did get to travel. I'm positive I would never have gotten to Italy if it had been on my own steam. So I was very grateful for that, even though it was a short time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks that I went.
Yeah, as
And
far as geography, we were stationed at Aviano. It's right at the foot of the Alps,
wow.
and that's an amazing place. It was really nice to be there. We were there for 3 years.
Oh, sure. And then the deal in Europe is when you're stationed there, did that work out for the Air Force where you also got to have that 4-day weekend once a month where it seemed like it was the opportunity to really travel and enjoy the what everything that Europe had to offer. But
Well,
that was something that was certainly happening in the Army and everybody was excited to talk about.
the thing we enjoyed was the space at that time. I don't know if they still have it, but I don't think it's as available. But we had a Space A
Oh,
plane
sure,
going
Space A.
from
Yeah. Hmm.
Italy to Turkey.
Hmm.
And we did a lot of traveling while we were over there.
And you should be eligible for that now as well. In fact, Whidbey Island is on the flight schedule for that. I had one of my XOs who we stay in touch, and he and his wife were talking about jumping on a Space A to come out here because they said, we noticed that you're right next to Naval Air Station Whidbey Island. We can get Space A. It's like, yeah, it's absolutely, and
And so what I didn't see, where are you at now?
oh, well, I'm in Washington State and on Whidbey Island, which is it's to the west and north of Seattle, just a little bit south of Vancouver, BC. But we have Naval Air Station Whidbey Island here with the growlers and the prowlers,
Hmm.
and that is, of course, Navy, and then we pretty much have the submarine base south of here over in Bremerton area. And so it's very military dense area, I guess is really what I'm saying. And it worked out well for me to join, so I can certainly have take advantage of all of the benefits as a veteran at this point. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you anticipate being there for quite a while. You're,
Oh,
you
sure.
live
I
there.
I had bought my house here in 2000, so at this point it was really a matter of my taking the time um, to you know go and find out how I was going to keep it. That
Yeah.
was the big deal for me. But at any rate, so you're all set for coming out to the event, and did you know we have probably about 50 of our classmates that are going to be there? So
I did
it
see
looks like
that.
a pretty good showing.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be good to catch up. My mother-in-law lives there and still in Fort Collins. And so
Mm.
we go up there and that's why I didn't get a room at the Elizabeth Hotel because we'll be staying with her while we're up there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, that's great. So, yes, is there anything else you wanted to share about where you are at things right now, or anything else you'd like to tell us about? Because we hit your passion, surely at this point, it's fishing, and you also have
Right.
your great walks. I mean, you're in a beautiful part of the world, so just enjoying nature alone is fantastic over there, I'm sure.
Well, I guess the thing I'd like to close on, my goal right now, there's a verse in Genesis chapter 12. God is telling Abraham that he has blessed him to be a blessing.
Hmm. Okay.
And so that's my goal, is to help other people. I'm just really fortunate. I have everything I need and more. And I'm just trying to spend my time helping people with
Mhm.
their goals now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, it sounds like it was just meant to be that you would have that church nearby that you could go and have that camaraderie and opportunity to help people there. So I think it turns out that as veterinarians, we are people that are prone to give service either way, whether it be to animals or people or both.
Yeah.
So I love that. Well, I sure look forward to seeing you. And you said you were going to be coming up and staying at your in-laws. And it looks like their schedule's pretty open. We're going to have a lot of time to get to visit with one another. And I'm telling you, I'm excited about it now. It's just all coming together. It's just a little over a month from now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, me too. All right, well, super good to see you, Bruce. Thanks so much for sharing, and especially for the sentiment at the end. I appreciate
Mm,
that so much.
You're welcome. It's good to, it'll be good to catch up.
Yeah, you bet. Take care then. Bye.
All right. See you, Donna.
See ya.